So, after a good wash, you want to make sure, some people think just wash the bike, let it air dry. Well, that's okay if you're not concerned about the longevity of the bike, I guess. Because what happens is, you get water on the top of the motor, you get water in the exhaust a little bit. As it's warming up, it drips out. You get water in the little fins of your radiator and also the oil cooler. And that's all metal. You don't want to let it air dry and then, once or twice, it's not going to matter. But if, let's say, you keep doing this just a couple times over the year, you're going to notice some rust. So, it's okay if you just do it once. It is a hot summer day today, but I've got it in the shade because I don't want it to get water spots on the bike. But you always want to make sure you let the bike warm up fully. See right there, it's at 211. At 218, the fans are going to turn on. Or actually 215, I'm not sure, right up in there. So the fans are going to turn on. And that way, the outside of the bike is dry. The motor gets nice and warm again. It gets nice and dry. Any water you got up on the mechanical bits are nice and dry. The fins are going to be dry because the superheated coolant is going to roll through the coolant reservoirs. So those are going to dry. The inside of your exhaust is going to dry. You don't want to really leave a drop of water on this thing to just sit and corrode. Also, just washing a bike, it's not a bad idea to go and take it for a spin to get some of the water to fly off real quick. But I would do that after you've got it pretty much dried down and you've got the engine warmed up. Because last thing you want is to be here riding and start getting speckled with water. And don't get me wrong, I've done it. We've all done it. But, and some people, they'll take the methodical route of getting rags and hand washing and getting in the crevices. Today, I just took the pressure washer. To this thing. That's definitely going to be throwing water up into the underneath parts, like underneath the gas tank. So you want to make sure it gets nice and hot. Definitely, you want to run it until you see like the drops have stopped dropping. The exhaust is now completely dry. Give it a rev once in a while. Force the air in, shoots air out, because that outlet for the exhaust is huge. And I took a pressure washer to it, so of course there's going to be some water in there. Actually, here, look. See that? That little last straggling drop of water. So I normally let this thing run to its cooling operation about 2-3 times. Double check all your lights. The high beams are working. Some of you guys might be thinking, oh, that's stupid. But you'd be surprised, these bikes here are, they're not meant to take a pressure washer. And don't get right up on it. Put a little bit of water, say it gets in the ceiling of the light there. And now your lights aren't working. You never know. everything out. It's just good to do this, guys. I know it seems kind of odd, but it's not a car. Your bikes do not get treated like cars, where you just send it through the wash machine, drive it down the road, and it's dry. You get a whole bunch of water up in these wires and stuff. You want those dry. So, this is probably common knowledge to most, but don't get a bike, don't get your first bike, and then just wash it and let it air dry or something, you know. Let it air dry, but if you're gonna just let it air dry without drying it off with a rag, you gotta turn the motor on. You gotta let the inside of that thing cook from the inside and get everything nice and dry. Because that way when you store in this thing for the next few days, you don't notice some nice rust spots on your bike. Alright guys. It is looking good though. SV650S. My first child. My only child. Two Bros Racing exhaust. It's got the K&N air filter on it. K&N oil filter. But yeah guys. Just make sure you get your bike 100% dry. I'm sitting here putting my hand behind. Oh, there it is. Kicks the fans on. That's what I like to see. And then you can see the temperature starts to drop. Well, it's going up still right now, but in about 2 seconds it's going to drop. There you go. 18, 17, 16, 15. Give it one last little. 12, 11. And then right when the fans turn off, kill the bike. Alright. So again, that seems like pretty common knowledge, but for some people that are just going to wash their bike, rinse it down with the hose, and then let it chill out, I don't advise that. This is a 2006, and it looks everything of factory right off the floor. I mean, you know, someone tried to pull that sticker off, but look at that. Look at that sheen. Look at that. And that's how you get your bikes to last. Again, 2006, looking like it just came off the factory. Alright guys, we out.